I'm Dave Hancock from organicfoods.org, and today I'm going to show you a really great way to preserve your apples throughout the winter. So we're going to go from this to this. Beautiful dried apple slices. You can add them to mueslis, your breakfast cereals, anything you like. Even put them in cakes. They taste absolutely gorgeous, and although all the moisture has been taken out, all the flavour remains. It is just an intense experience putting a piece of this stuff in your mouth. It doesn't matter where you get your apples from, it's always a good idea to give them a quick rinse over before you begin. I usually just run them under the tap, give them a rub over. Of course you can drop them into a bowl of water as well if you want to just let them soak for a little while. It's entirely up to you. Lay some kitchen towel onto your work surface. You're going to need this in a little while, so it's best to be prepared before you do anything else. And you're going to need a bowl of plain clean water and a bit of sea salt. Just put that in there, mix it up a bit. The reason for this is that the slices are going to be put into this bowl of water, and it's going to stop the apple slices from oxidising, from going brown. Even though you don't need any specialised equipment for this, if you're going to do a lot of apples, it's really worth investing in one of these things. It cores and peels the apple and cuts the slices all in one action. An invaluable and fairly inexpensive piece of equipment. It goes onto the work surface like this, and although this isn't a great flat surface, Formica's much better. You just turn this handle and it creates a suction. Or it doesn't. Hang on, let's wet that a bit. Okay, stick it down, give it a push and over, and there you can see that's pretty tough now. It's going to come off when we start doing on this, because there's ridges in the wood, but on a smoother surface it's going to stay stuck to it like glue. So taking an apple, we push it end on, so you go in at the top of the apple and just push it onto these spikes, and there's a quick release trigger which allows you to take it up to the beginning of the cutter. Then it's simply a question of turning the handle. Okay, so what you've ended up with is basically this stuff. If you've got bad bits in the apple, bruises and so on, just pick them out and then drop the flesh into your salted water. It doesn't matter that they break up like this, you're going to want them to break up anyway, so just carry on and don't get too precious about it. So let's try that one more time. We just put this on through the top of the apple, so that pushes in and down. We do the quick release to take it up to the cutting blade and begin to turn. When you've gone all the way through, if you just pull this back again, it releases it, the core comes out, and you've got a nice spiral of apple, which again just breaks off into pieces into the salt water. After a couple of minutes of soaking, take them out and start to lay them out on the kitchen towel that you prepared earlier. You want the slices to become at least touch dry. You don't want them running with water the way they are when they immediately come out of this wash. So it really is just a question of doing this till you're done. Let's put some red ones out, they're very pretty. And so on. Once they're dry, or dry enough, Get some sort of racking for the oven and make it so that you've got fairly small holes in it. I crossed 2 of these over for this. It just makes it so that when I start to put the smaller pieces on, they're still going to sit there rather than just falling through to the floor. At least that's the hope. Now put these on, they can be pretty close together, but they mustn't be overlapping. That's the only rule with this. But you want them to be able to have the warm air all around them. And keep putting them on until either your rack's full or you've run out of apples. You can do as many of these trays as you can fit into your oven, all in one go. And when your tray's full, bring it across to the oven and place it nice and tidily in there. I'm going to have to turn this round because it's a bit of a tight fit. But I think that just shows that you don't have to be too precious about what it is that you put that on. Close your door until it's slightly ajar. Don't close it completely. And then set the oven to its lowest heat setting. On this oven there's a defrost function, which is what we put it on, but if you don't have that but you have a slow cooking setting, then that will do. Leave that now for about 3 hours and then we'll come back and see how it's getting on. So now we're going to look in and see how we're getting on with these things. You can open this without oven gloves, you've had hardly any heat going on. And if we take one out, what we're looking for is for it to be rather leathery, which that one is, and I would say that that's done. God, that's lovely. And now all you need to do is find a nice clean screw top jar and put your pieces in there. These will store for months like this, right through the winter. But if you like them as much as I do, they won't last that long. These should all fit in there. Put on the lid, and there we have it. Dried apple slices. They're lovely.